All right, guys. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So the first thing that when you start anything, I think it's very important to have a vision and a mission. So here at ZiNRAi, you want to awaken the movement. That's kind of where we're going with this. So we're building back the focus on education. I feel sometimes it's easy to get lost in, okay, like what am I focused on? What am I looking at? Just getting back to the basics, the education, literally somewhere solid where you could plant your feet, where you can understand, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm buying, I'm selling, I'm understanding day by day a little bit more about the markets, a little bit more about my portfolio, etc. Okay. For your mission, it's literally just having the resources and the support that you need. Because I feel like in life, you could definitely try new things and do new things. But ultimately, if you don't have the right resources, you don't have the support, you don't have the community, I feel like it's so much harder. Like so much more difficult to kind of do it alone, to get to it alone. It's a lot di more difficult. And I think like those kind of lonely nights and those late nights, early mornings become even more of a hassle. So it's like if you know you have a whole community, like listen, we say good morning to each other every single morning in the chat, which I love, even on a weekend. You rarely get that in a group chat. So I definitely love and appreciate that. You guys welcome each other into the group chat as well. So that's definitely contributing to the support. You know, the more people kind of interact with those little things, the more the support and love is going to be felt in the chat. Let's focus on something that's top priority, okay? So once you get started with the winner circle in ZiNRAi, you literally want to make sure that you're scoring in 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so you have to have some type of result in 24 to 48 hours. So whether that's on a prop firm account, whether that's on a live account, a demo account, you want to make sure that you have a result spoken for. You've either taken a copy and paste alert, you were on a live session, something. You have to have a result, okay? Um, also have access to 7steps.vip, so that's like kind of a solid platform that's going to show you what you have access to, what you need, etc. But like above all, 7steps.vip is that site that you need to go through. If you haven't gone through it yet, whether you're seasoned or not, you need to go through it. There's so many things like going through your goals, having like access to brokers, prop firms, so many different things that you can navigate and just kind of get access to. So don't overlook the steps, don't glide through it. Literally go through those 7 steps. And shout out to Andre because not every community has access to a automatic system like that. Like a lot of people don't have it. So the fact that we could go at any moment when we get started to go to this website and kind of get the basics, get into a chat, get into everything that we need is top tier. It really is. So let's get into like bit by bit what the products actually are. So we have ZiNRAi Live. This is the live session. So when you're going to do like, let's say either an educational or a trading live session, you want to make sure that that's kind of put into your schedule. So these live sessions are going to be on ZiNRAi website uniquely. You want to make sure that you have your schedule put out. If I'm following, let's say Jordan Morgan for Forex or Mike Sotero for crypto or Patrick Kenny for stocks, I want to make sure that along with either my work schedule, my school schedule, whatever it is, that I iron out exactly what times I'm going to be on these live sessions. And are these trading live sessions or are these educational sessions? You want to make sure that you're making money, but you also want to make sure that the educational portion is there as well. Okay. Next up, we have ZiNRAi Ideas. So this is where you're going to get your copy and paste alerts. We're going to go through some together actually, but I really want to make sure that everyone understands the importance of these ideas. Truly, like having the copy and paste function is so amazing because the risk to reward is great. Like imagine for exit one, just for one exit on our trades, we're bound to make a one-to-one. So if you risk $100, you're bound to make $100. Let's say you focus on exit two. You're kind of like me, you know what? I like exit two. I like making a little bit more than just kind of, what I invested. If I risk $100, let's say I'm focused on exit two, I'm bound to make a 1-to-3, which is 3 times my investment, which is $300. So the further you understand and the more you kind of get acclimated with the basics, then you can kind of, customize your experience when it comes to taking those alerts. But at a base level, I want it noted that exit one is considered a winning trade. So every trade that you put in, exit one is a winning trade. So even if it hits exit two, three, four, understand that from it hits exit one, you're good. The trade was a good idea. It followed through. We won our trade. Okay. Next is ZiNRAi Elevate. So ZiNRAi Elevate really has to do with your personal development. So when we talk about that, you have literally an AI accountability partner in your back office. You also have an audio of the day, which is great because sometimes, we can kind of get lost in searching for what to do, what to listen to, what to read when it comes to personal development. So that's really going to help the average person. I feel just get that one-stop shop of just something pouring into you. When it comes to the courses now, so we have a lot of courses, but what we focus on, and I'm going to write it in the chat. So Jordan Morgan is who we're focusing on for Forex. Oh, I didn't spell Forex properly. Next, we have Mike Sotero for crypto, and then Patrick Kenny for stocks. And that's all in the chat, so you guys can copy it from there. So these are literally the educators that we are following. My aunt's in the chat. I'm so happy. So happy. Okay, so we have ZiNRAi courses that we were talking about, and then we have ZiNRAi rewards as well. There's the big ZiNRAi queue that's missing. It's literally not missing. I want to go through it with you guys on the website and actually show you guys how to put in information. So we're gonna do that together, okay? Next up is a trading journal. So I want you guys to really take in the part of what a trading journal is because to be able to fill out that information, you need to know where to find it. Okay. So on ZiNRAi Q, we know we have a trading journal, but you still need to know where to find that information to put it in. So make sure you're actually taking notes of what you need so you're not going back and forth. You have all your information, just put it in straight. Okay, so when we talk about trading journal, we're talking about your date and time of your trade, trade details, trade outcome, emotions, and mindset. Okay. Usually when you trade, this is something that you really want to make sure you fill out. But because we have access to ZiNRAi, they've made it so much easier. And again, we're going to see this together, but having to not write it down and actually having an analytical component in the website that's actually kind of programmed to say, okay, you've won this amount of trades, like these are the ones that you lost. How are you feeling? Did you exit those trades early because you weren't too sure of yourself? Like, did you see everybody else dropping results and you just kind of got into trades? Like what happened? And the more detailed you're able to be, the more precise that you're able to be, that's when you're really going to become a different type of trader, an elevated trader. All right. Drop some ones in the chat if everything makes sense so far. Trading plan is what we're going to go through like one by one. So the first thing that's important on your trading plan is what pairs you're focused on. So when we talk about what pairs, this could be NAS 100, this could be gold, this could be an EU pair, AU pair. It depends on the educator that you're following and it depends on the currency you're kind of focused on. But overall, you need to know what those pairs are and mark them down. For every account, whether it's demo, live, or prop firm, you need to know what pairs you're focused on that account. Okay. Next is your sessions. So we know that the day is broken up into sessions. So for example, like if I know, okay, perfect, I'm waking up in the morning, I'd like to take part in New York session because I like to trade NAS 100, right? So it's like I'm going to wake up at a certain time to make sure that I'm good to trade. I'm ready for that New York session. I'm ready for that boost at 9:30 and I'm ready for the markets, right? But I have to know what session I'm trading in. I need to know, okay, is my Asia session, is it during the day? Is it London? Is it during the late night? When am I trading and what am I doing? The more precise you could be with your trading plan leaves a lot less room for error, leaves a lot less room for your emotions to dictate what you're doing and how you're doing it. So that's why it's so important to outline the parameters of your trading plan. It's the structure of your trading account. It prevents you from just trading whatever, doing whatever, however you feel like, just because you feel like, oh, I have what's the word I've been hearing? I have the intuition that it's gonna sell, or I have the intuition that it's gonna buy. I want you guys to understand that having intuition is not analysis. It's not strategy. There's no education behind intuition. Okay. I know in everyday life, it's like trust your instincts, trust how you feel, trust your gut feeling. I love your gut feeling, but at the end of the day, that's not going to get you paid. It's not going to get you retired. It's not going to get you none of that. Okay. It's a very in the moment feeling. So you want to make sure as detailed as you could be with your trading plan, you're going to see the biggest difference. Okay. You're going to see a lot more consistency, a lot more discipline on your part. All right. When it comes to your choice of educators, you want to make sure that you're never passing one to two educators when it comes to a curriculum or a program. So Forex, for example, I wouldn't go past two people. So for example, Jordan Morgan and Valentino, those are two people that you can prioritize when it comes to Forex. Sorry. For our live session schedule, as I was saying earlier, if we know what we're focused on, whether it's on a 30-day, 3 month, 6 month span, we know what educators we need to follow. So, for example, if I'm focused on stocks for a bit, for like 2 weeks, I'm like, you know what, I really want to just get down on my stocks education. I'm going to prioritize Patrick Kenny for those 2 weeks. You can still take alerts, you can still do all of that to make your money. You can still hop on live sessions to make money, but you've said on the educational standpoint, you want to focus on stocks. You could still hop on Patrick Kenny's sessions and really prioritize that in terms of education. So, as I said earlier, you have live trading sessions where you make money and educational sessions where you kind of like, okay, I'm learning something new, I'm writing it down, I'm not necessarily investing right away. I just want to understand how everything works, like the back end, what platforms to use, where I can invest my money, etc. Okay. So there's two different kinds of sessions, and you want to make sure you're on live trading sessions as well. So you can not only understand how to live trade, but you're also kind of getting into the habit of applying analysis, applying a strategy to the markets. Okay. What account are you using? Is it a live account? Is it a demo account? Is it a prop firm account? I want to make it very clear that we are not partnered with any prop firm account. Okay. How things usually go is if you decide, and we could definitely suggest some, but if you decide to partner up with a prop firm account, the relationship between you and the prop firm is between you and the prop firm, right? It's a contract, it's a deal between you and that company. So there's no customer support that we could do on our end. There's nothing I can do on the insider things. I don't own these companies, guys. I don't. If I did, you guys would get things for free. Trust me. So it's like, I really want you guys to understand that when you decide to partner with a prop firm, it is between you and the prop firm. Okay. If you decide to start a live account, understand that there's a big difference there. Like when you start a live account, you keep 100% of your profits. If you start an account, let's say today with $100 and by Friday you've made 400, guess what? Not only can you take out your initial investment, you can even pay yourself an extra 50, extra $100 and keep trading the next week. You don't have to wait through phase one and phase two and you're funded and then wait. You don't have to wait nothing. You don't have to wait for anything, right? You made the money. You're like, you know what? It's Friday. I want to reward myself. I want to get myself something. I'm gonna take my money out and go get it. You could do that. You don't need anybody's permission because it's your account. So you want to make sure that you're doing your part when it comes to education on the broker and the prop firm accounts. And once again, when you go through 7steps.vip, you're going to see that you actually have access to a few suggestions. Feel free to do your own research, as we always should. Just because we give suggestions, it doesn't mean that it's law. Okay. I really want you guys to get into the habit of doing your own research and understanding, okay, if I want to invest, if I want to do business with this prop firm, you guys are not customers. You guys are still like, in my mind, you guys are still like business owners. That's how I view every single person on this call. If you're saying, okay, I want to deal with a prop firm as a business owner, you're like, okay, I'm deciding I want to invest in this platform and I want to do kind of a profit split with this platform. Does that not sound like a business transaction to you? Sounds like one to me. Sounds like one to me. If I'm deciding, you know what, I'm going to keep 80% of the profits that I make on this account and the company's going to keep 20%, an average customer doesn't make that type of decision. I'm just saying. So you literally just became a business owner with an educated decision because you did your research. That's how I see it. Okay. So don't downplay yourself and, kind of think, okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. You do know what you're doing. We provide those literal accounts, those not the accounts, sorry, the platforms, and you can do your own research on your side. Okay. Can you please explain how to find the 7 steps? It's not a recording, it's a website. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for you. www.7steps.vip. This is always like as soon as you start beyond this onboarding call, that's the first thing that everybody should be doing. Whether you're seasoned, unseasoned, whether you're salt and pepper, whatever you are, 7steps.vip. Okay? 100%. So that's going to give you your basics. So to continue, we did the what account are you using? The next is when do you stop trading? So when it comes to trading, and it's like you can answer this question in two ways. So the first way is literally you can stop when you hit your target. So let's say for the day you have a target of $200, $50, $100, whatever the case is, and you hit that target, you could be done for the day. If you hit a trade or a live session, you make your money, it's like, okay, cool, I'm done for the day. I can now, go read. I can go out with my friend. I could do whatever. Why? Because I made my money first and then I'm good to go afterwards. If I already made my schedule and I'm trading or I'm on the midweek huddle on a Wednesday at 5 and someone calls me and they're like, oh, there's a restaurant, really want to try out. We're going tomorrow at 5. Take out your schedule. Tomorrow at 5, you are busy. You are busy. You have midweek huddle, and midweek huddle, I love it because it's like you're sitting at a round table with your rich uncles and they're showing you what they invested in, what they bought, what they sold to make money. And they're not holding back. They're giving you platforms, they're giving you products, they're giving you projects, they're giving you everything. Why would we miss that? Right? So when it comes to stop when you stop trading on your account, if you hit your target, there's no reason why we hit our target and we're still in the markets. That's a great way to give the money back that you made. And you don't want to do that. That's not a habit that we're going to start from now. We really want to focus on hitting our target and being done. Trading is not something you do all day. It's not. You get in the markets, make your money, get out. Simply put. Another reason to stop trading, let's say you lose two trades in a day. Okay? That's a great way to say, you know what? I lost two trades for today. I'll be back at it tomorrow. What this does is if you start to get emotional, if you do or don't, it doesn't matter. But you're already kind of instilling the right habits. You're already instilling the right habits. You lost twice. Do you really feel like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time you're gonna come out swinging? Like this is not a boxing match. This is an account. Like this is an actual account. So you want to make sure that the parameters that you set, the structure that you set, the rules that you set on these accounts is respected. It has to be. Okay, so stop trading if you hit your profit target for the day, your daily target, or if you lose twice. You lose two trades, you should be done for the day. Okay. When do you close your trades? If you're about to take a screenshot, if you're about to take a picture, if you're about to brag about it, if you're dancing around the house, it's time to close the trade. Once again, do not give the money back to the markets. Okay. When it comes to risk management, it's very important to be aware of what you're risking and what you're getting, especially if you are on a prop firm. If it says, that you have a drawdown of $500, there's no reason for you to be risking $100 on one trade. Not at all. That's too much. Okay. So you want to make sure you're practicing good risk management. What you're risking to what you're getting makes sense. All right, drop some twos in the chat if that's all clear for now. I hope you guys took your pictures, your screenshots for your trading plan because you are going to need a trading plan for every account that you have. Okay. Next is your steps to success here. So focus is scoring in 24 to 48 hours, making sure we have our live sessions ironed out and our personal development when it comes to ZiNRAi Elevate. If we're watching an audio, we have that noted in our notes for the day. If we're reading the book, whatever chapter we're supposed to be reading is down packed as well. And anything that you need on a weekly basis in terms of whether it's work or school, whatever the case is, you want to have it as detailed as possible. Why? It makes it almost impossible for you to kind of come up with something like an excuse or anything. You have everything ironed out. You set up your week for you, for your success, for how you're going to handle this week and how you're going to accomplish your goals, right? Because our goals and our schedule should go hand in hand. So if you already set up your schedule for the week, there's no like kind of room for you to improvise and come up with something. It's like, okay, at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing this. It's structured. You don't have time to feel, oh my God, I don't think. No, it's structured. You know what you have to do. You know what needs to get done. So it's just okay. I'm doing this at this time. Perfect. If you have an extra 5 minutes, that's the extra 5 minutes between your what you have to do. But you want to make sure you're respecting your schedule and always altering it when it comes to, kind of looking at your goals and saying, okay, cool. I put a 30-day goal or a 3-month goal, whatever the case is, in place. I've been doing everything for the last 30 days, let's say in accordance with my 3-month goal. It's time for a review. Let me see where I'm at in my goal, in my monetary goal, in my percentage. Let me see analytics with my account. How close am I to my target? Am I closer than I thought? Can I change my daily target for the next 2 months? There's so many things that you could change. There's so many things that you can fix and be more detailed and more severe about if you're aware. If you have 3-month goals and it's like on day like the day right before, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even do this, I didn't do that. Like, oh, my 3-month goals are not accomplished. It's like it's too late to scramble, it's too late to alter, it's too late to fix it. If you're a month and a half in, it's like, okay, what have I done so far? What have I accomplished? What have I done? Like, what have I actually done so that the next month and a half, I hit my target? So that comes with structure, that comes with the rules, that comes with making a schedule and respecting your schedule. If you're on for a course, make sure you see that course. If you don't see it, have the discipline to be like, I know they're recorded, let me go watch the recording. But that discipline is what's going to set you apart. Chart work. Chart work is practicing what you saw. So if you see analysis, if you see someone marking up on TradingView or whatever the case is, nobody expects you to be an expert, guys. Nobody expects you to know how to mark up a chart and call out trades for the community. That's not what we're expecting at all. What it is practice. It's always going to be practice. It's cool to take notes, but ultimately at the end of it, you need to know what you're talking about and you need to be able to trade for yourself. I think every individual strives to invest and be an independent trader. You can only do that if you practice. So you want to make sure, along with the notes you're taking, even if you have to watch that session back, just to practice what you looked at and what you saw, that's going to make all the difference. So when you get on, the weekly trading calls and Dre's going over the basics or showing the chart, you're looking at the chart like, I understand everything he's saying. Why? Because you did the courses, you reviewed your notes, you did the live sessions, you practiced. So those sessions, it's like, oh, cool. And you can actually ask questions now because you understand what you're looking at. If you don't understand, it's like, oh my God, I feel behind, I feel frustrated. And all these emotions come up when whole time we could have actually just made a schedule and stuck to it. If it takes us 2, 3 times to get it, it takes us 2, 3 times to get it. If you partnered up with somebody like myself, I literally say, if you go through something and it doesn't make sense to you, book a call with me and let's go through it together. Let's go through it together so I can bridge the gap, answer your questions, whatever it is, so that the next time you see it, the next course you go through, you're good. You're listening to the information, you're retaining it because you asked the questions, we saw it together, all of that. But you have to make sure you say something if you don't understand and you kind of start to dig into a plan. If I see that my goal over 3 months is $300, I reach a month and a half and I'm only at about 50, I need to change something. I'm not going to continue on with the same plan because I'm not going to hit my goal when I want to hit my goal. And you always need to have at least 2 to 3 people that you can reach out to for help. Always. With a plan, you need to have help. Like you need to say, okay, if I need help or I have questions with any of this, who can I ask? Who got me started? Who can I ask? Who's my mentor? Who are the people that have the results that I want? Who can I ask for help? Who's going to hop on a call with me for 20, 30 minutes just to make sure I'm good? You have to have that, okay? So just to review what we saw our vision and our mission. We know that we have to awaken the movement, whether that's in our business, whether that's in our lives, whether that's in literally our income, anything, okay? When it comes to your mission, you have the resources, you have the tools, you have the community, you have the support, you have everything that you need to get to the next level. You're scoring in 24 to 48 hours. You're respecting that number one rule when it comes to the winner's circle. When it comes to trading and development, you know what you have access to. We're also going to go on the website itself to kind of look at it together. Trading journal, we know what to expect, but we're going to go through it again with ZiNRAi Q. Trading plan, we know what our components are, and then our steps to success, scoring in 24 hours, literally doing our schedule for the week, whether it comes to personal development or the live trading sessions or educational sessions, and practicing. Okay, drop some twos in the chat if that's clear, and we're going to end up going on ZiNRAi right now. Start off with the courses, okay? So this is ZiNRAi. We're going to start out with the courses just so it's super clear, okay? So you have access to foreign exchange, which is Forex, stocks and crypto, e-commerce, and digital marketing, all right? We're going to focus on these two to make sure that we're taking care of our income. So what I mean by that is when it comes to Forex, this is something you should strive to take care of your monthly bills, okay? Whenever it comes to crypto, these are for big purchases. So, for example, let's say cars, homes. Okay. And then when we talk stocks, we all know this is always the long game. Okay. Long term. So that's in the chat for you guys. This is what we mean by kind of like being well-rounded in the sense where it comes to your income, when it comes to what you're doing to either kind of take or how do I say that? Honestly, when it comes to your income, you have to be in control or it's just going to control you. Like, you ever see those people that it's like they just kind of, whether it either comes to spending or saving, they're just kind of doing. There's no format, there's no plan, there's no saving, there's no nothing. It's just kind of like, okay, this is how much I have. This is what I'm willing to spend, type of thing. And when it runs out, it runs out. No, we want to make sure we're covered on all bases. So when you first get started, I want you to look at it that way. Forex, monthly bills, crypto, Big purchases, cars, homes, etc. Stocks is always long-term investments, right? So think about it. If you have all these three things working for you and you're still working, understand that your income is just piling up in your bank account. So not only do you have money, can you spend money? Can you invest money? You're not stressed. You're not stressed. You're not frustrated. You're not worrying about anything. Why? Because you have everything covered. But that starts with the educational portion. Okay. So when it comes to the foreign exchange, as a community, we're following Jordan Morgan. Okay. So let's say we hop on this session, we see, okay, we have courses available. There's 5 hours worth of courses here and 9 hours here. So obviously, we're going to start with the first steps of trading, and you're just going to go through these courses and take notes. If you need to watch it again, watch it again. There's no harm in that. But make sure you practice what you see and you practice what you're looking at. Okay. When we go back and let's say we're talking about crypto and stocks. Okay. So for crypto, as we said, we're going to follow Mike Citero. Same concept. Like if you even want to click beginner just to make it super clear. Starting your portfolio research and tokenomics, crypto basics 101. So you know what to watch, you know how long it's going to be. And if you didn't understand when you watched it the first time, watch it again. Watch it again, take notes, look at the platforms that are recommended, go through them. That's the only way you're going to understand. That's the only way you're going to get it. Okay. And then the same thing for stocks. When it comes to stocks, we're following Patrick Kenny. Same thing applies. Click beginner. Literally, we have access to, we know what we have to watch first, and everything's in order. So we're good to go. Okay. But everything starts with the education. All right. So you want to make sure you're watching these courses, you're passing those reviews, all that stuff. You want to make sure you're actually kind of investing that time into it. All right. That's for your courses. When it comes to your live sessions, as we talked about, you want to make sure that you have your schedule ironed out. I like to do my schedule on Saturday evenings because my schedule starts on a Sunday. I don't believe in doing my schedule on a Sunday because let's be real, the day's going to go by fast, especially if you're cooking, cleaning, doing XYZ, it's gonna go fast. So I do it from Saturday evening. That way I know exactly what I'm doing from Sunday all the way up to next Saturday, and then I'm good to go again. I think that's a good midpoint. So let's say we come here and it's like, okay, cool. I'm ready to watch my videos. I know what I want to watch. Let's just look at the full schedule for a second. These are literally all the educators that you have access to, and then with their sessions and what they're doing on the session. Okay. I really want to bring your attention to this midweek huddle. As I said, it's literally going to be like you're sitting at a restaurant with your uncles and you're like, listen, these are the projects that I've gotten into. This is how much I made. This is how much could be made. I think you should do it too. That's the type of session it is. So it's very lucrative. If you can free yourself up or even watch the recording of this call, I would prioritize it 100%. Okay, so midweek huddle, it's hosted by Mike Sotero, but he always has Patrick Kenny on it, and Jordan Morgan is a guest sometimes as well. So it's really nice. It's a really good call. Okay, so you're gonna come here and literally look at it. You have from Sunday to Saturday, you have the exact schedule. Okay, if we go back here, we go to foreign exchange. It's the same concept. You have the full schedule. So if you're gonna live trade, you know where to live trade. If you're focused on education, where's Jordan Morgan? Valentino is right here, and then we have Jordan Morgan right here. So you know what you're doing. Live smart money analysis, smart money Wacoffians. Like you know what you're doing. So when you hop on the session, you know if it's educational or if you're trading. That's the important part. Okay. So you want to make sure you're taking note of what sessions to be on, how long you're going to be on them, etc. And then leave some time afterwards to just kind of review what you saw. Okay. Or even practice what you saw. Let me move you guys over. Next. Next. We're gonna go over ZiNRAi Q. Honestly, guys, ZiNRAi Q is fire. I don't know how else to say it. It's really, really fire. I finally got to put in my setups. I'm missing one setup still. We're gonna go through them together. And I'm finally gonna get to use this fully this week. So I'm super excited. Let's talk about the trading journal. So we already knew what we saw in our slides. We know what it takes to kind of put in a trade, what information we need. So let's say I just took a trade. I'm ready to put in my information. Understand that the trading journal on ZiNRAi Q is going to explain to you, kind of give you the analytics of your account. So your profit and loss for today, your weekly profit and loss, your win rate, and total pips achieved. All right. So if we go into what's necessary, your asset, so your pair, what did you trade? Did you buy or sell it? What was your lot size? your entry price, your exit price, stop loss, and take profits. Take profits are the same as your exits when it comes to the trades, and then stop loss is the same as invalidation. Don't worry, we're gonna go and look at it together and do it together, okay? Results in pips, your results in dollars, the date and time, okay? Once you keep going, it's going to ask you how you felt. So again, did you have FOMO? Was everybody else in a trade and you felt like you needed to trade as well, so you got into a trade? Were you confident in your analysis and your decision to take this trade? Was it a trade from the platform and you're like, you know what? I trust the platform. I'm going to take this trade. That's confidence. You're confident in the trade setup that you're utilizing. Were you calm putting in the trade? It's like, you know what? I got an alert or I'm on the session. Seems like a good trade. I'm going to take it. The more precise you are, is the more kind of detailed you could be with the analysis of your account. So, for example, if I take a total of 20 trades for the week, okay, I win about, let's say, 12 of my trades, but I lose eight, but I'm down for the week. Okay. If I come to my trading journal and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my trades trying to understand, okay, what happened last week? If I have a lot of responses like overconfident, anxious, to the point where when I'm describing my trade, I'm closing out my trades early. I'm not even letting the setup play out. I'm closing them out early. I'm not respecting my trade parameters. I'm not respecting my trading plan. And I'm really focused more on emotion, FOMO. When everybody else was in a trade, I wasn't necessarily supposed to trade, but I still did it. That's where you start to pinpoint exactly what's hindering your account. And simply put, you can stop doing those things. So, for example, again, when it comes to date and time, if we see that every Monday we're losing our trades, we could say, hey, you know what? For the last 2 weeks, every time I take a trade on Monday, I lose it. I'm just going to take Mondays out altogether. But understand if you don't do a trading journal, it's hard to pinpoint those things. The more we can pinpoint the losses and kind of isolate the wins, that's what makes you more and more profitable because we're being very disciplined and consistent when it comes to what's tolerated and what's not. So obviously you're going to go through emotions, you're new to trading, you're going to experience things and that's fine, but the more honest you are, the more detailed you are in your responses and your explanations of why you do things and how you do things is the best way to perfect it. Okay. So in that, after kind of explaining how you feel, you can kind of go through the notes and say, okay, this is how I felt, this is what happened, etc. And then you can upload a screenshot of the trade that you took, the analysis, whatever the case is. Okay. Next, we're going to look at our trade setup vault. So this is where you can literally write out strategies and actually use the strategies, put the trade, sorry, in with the strategies you're using so that you know what strategy is working and which one really isn't working. So let's say that gut feeling again, right? You put in gut feeling. I almost did that for this call. Put like gut feeling as a strategy. So you have gut feeling up here because let's be honest, gut feeling is not backed by any analysis. It's your gut feeling. So you're just taking your trades, but if you actually look at the analytics of how you take your trades and how successful you are you winning 80% of your trades? Are you passing accounts? Are you funded? Are you doubling, tripling, quadrupling your live account? If the answer to these questions are no, don't do it. Just don't do it. You have a platform that's sending you amazing trades. As I said, exit one is a 1-to-1. Exit two is like minimum a 1-to-3, and anything after that is like a 1-to-8, 1-to-10. If you started your account with $10, you'd be at $100 if you hit an exit three. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, don't chuck it up to how you feel and, oh, I'm starting this and I'm getting fully involved. If you want to get fully involved, follow the instructions. Follow the plan that's mapped out for you. That starts with 7steps.vip. That starts with setting up your ZiNRAi queue. And if you don't know how to do it, message someone. Say, hey, heads up, I really want to like, get really situated with everything. Could we hop on a call? That's the best way that you're going to get the results that you want. Okay? Closed mouths do not get fed. Once again, if you have a 30-day goal and you wait till day 30 to say, oh my God, and start scrambling and stuff, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You need to have everything in place and then just execute, execute, execute. And that's what's going to make the difference. Okay? After this, we have our risk calculator. So whether it comes to Forex, crypto, or futures, you can come here, put in the pair you're trading, your account size, things like that, and it'll kind of break it down for you in terms of risk and what you're risking and what you have access for your account. You also have here news. So news is something that's very important when it comes to trading. You need to be aware of what news is being called, what news is being announced. There's no reason to be trading without it because sometimes you're going to be in a trade and something's going to happen. You don't want to be surprised. You want to make sure that you're that individual that's like, okay, I know news is being called at 10. I'm in a trade right now. Depending on where the market's going, whether it's going to be in my favor or not, whether I'm allowed to trade news on that account or not, I move accordingly. Okay. You next have access to the scanners. Okay. So you have access to two scanners here, and there's another one coming. So you have Quadrex. Quadrex reads the Forex market. So NAS 100, gold, all the pairs that we kind of see on a day-to-day basis, Quadrex is going to be the scanner for you. When it comes to crypto, you have access to Coin Heist. Okay. So make sure you write those down. I'm going to write it in the chat. So Quadrex is for Forex, and then Coin Heist is for crypto. Okay. Just so you guys understand that. And that's literally everything that you're going to utilize for now. We have ZiNRAi Portfolio and AI Trade Optimizer coming. So those are the next two things to be updated. But literally, like you can already kind of fully use this. You already have AI scanners. You have access to the trading journal. The news works. Even the alerts. The alerts get sent through here as well. The alerts, the updates, everything. Everything gets filtered through here as well. So ZiNRAi Q is very lucrative. And if you haven't looked at it yet, make sure you look at it. Okay. So drop some twos if you guys are good on ZiNRAi. The last thing I want to show you before we do trade alerts together is ZiNRAi Elevate. Honestly, I love this. The first thing is your AI accountability partner. You can ask anything and kind of get a response. Next is your audio of the day. So you don't need to look all over to kind of understand like where you're at, what you're focused on. Am I frozen? I look frozen. Can you guys hear me? Drop some twos if you could hear me, because I see myself freezing. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so as I was saying, you have access to the accountability partner, the audio of the day, and then your 90-day growth track. So it depends on what you want to work on, confidence, leadership, discipline, whatever you want to work on, you literally start your tracker and you just follow along with what you have to do every single day. All right. So consistency is key here. You're definitely going to build discipline when it comes to learning something new and bettering yourself. We also have book of the month, which is great too, because it goes with the chapters, right? Like it makes you think of the right things. I can't tell you the amount of times I've read something and I'm like, I don't really feel like I fully grasped everything. Let me double back and read it again. And when I read it again, I understand a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. I don't know if it's because of my mindset is shifting. I don't know what's happening, but literally, I always understand more. Like, you ever watch a movie, you watch it once, like, okay, cool, I'm gonna watch it again, and you start noticing little things. That happened to me, and I think I saw my uncle. I think it was Harry Potter. I watched it twice, the first Harry Potter, and he's actually in it. And I was like, I didn't even see this guy like the first time, but he's actually in the movie. It's crazy. But yeah, so I like to kind of double back, but I feel like if you read a chapter and then you immediately go into revision mode, like, okay, what did I take away? What am I looking at, etc. Then it's like, okay, cool. I understand what the point was. I understand what the point was. I understand what the takeaway was. Let me work with that. Okay. And you have a whole library as well for like master classes, blogs, audios, things like that. Okay. So it's very lucrative to use. So when it comes to your trades, I want you guys to look at the chat. So the first thing you're going to focus on is your entry. Okay. When a trade gets sent to you, you're going to focus on your entry, your asset, entry, and type of trade. Okay. So as soon as you get an idea, the first thing that you want to look at is, okay, I see I got the alert. What do we have access to? What do we have? You want to look at what you're trading. Is it gold? Is it NAS 100? Is it EU? Is it AU? What is it? So you want to make sure you know that. You want to know your entry price and you want to know the type of trade that you're executing that can be found in your notes. Okay. Next, you want to see, okay, I have the type of trade. I know if I'm selling or I'm buying. I know if it's pending or market. When it comes to pending or market, before we see it together, I want you guys to write it down. Pending is a sell limit, buy limit, or a sell stop, buy stop. Okay. And then when it comes to market, we have buy market and sell market. Okay. So when you see these types of trades kind of called out and you check the notes at the bottom and you see what kind of trade it is, you want to make sure you're entering them correctly. Okay. So take note of everything I put in the chat, and we're gonna go to Trade Locker right now so I can show you guys um how it works and how to take them. Okay, let's say we're utilizing this one right here. Okay, so as we said, the first thing that you're going to pay attention to is the asset. Asset is up here. XAU USD, what kind of trade, the entry price is right here. So you can go literally check real quick. Okay, like, is it close? Is it not close? Do I have time to put everything in? Am I early? Am I late? If it just gets called out, you have time because almost every trade is a pending trade. I think 95% of the trades that they call out are pending, which means you have time to put them in. The other 5% are like market trades that are executed immediately, but those you have to actually wait for the price. So let's break this down. So as I said, the first thing you're looking at, asset, entry price, you're scrolling down to the notes and to see what kind of trade it is. So if we just look across the board here, we see sell stop, that's pending. Sell limit, pending. Well, this is a buy. By the way, if you ever see bearish or bullish, that's another indicator of what kind of trade it is. So let's say, for example, this is perfect. You don't see what kind of trade, the type of trade executed, no problem. At the top, it says bullish or bearish, okay? Bullish means buy, bearish means sell. Okay. So think of if you ever forget, just think of the way the animals attack. So bulls obviously attack upwards. They have horns upwards. If it's a bear usually claws you from up top downward. So sell, buy. Okay. So for example, let's say, we're human. We don't get the type of trade, no problem. We see bullish. We're going to look at the price. We're going to double check our entry to make sure to see where we're at. And then after that, we're going to get into the trade. So as we can see across the board, asset, asset, asset. This would be if it's bearish, what kind of trade is it? Drop it for me in the chat. Is it a buy? Is it a sell? Perfect. It's a sell. Same thing here. Bearish. It's a sell. Here, bullish. It's a buy. Okay. You can also look at the colors. Green means up, red means down. Okay. So you have the time frames on the side. So the time frames in which the trades were decided. Next, you have your entry price. So this is what we talked about when we talk about the price that you're getting into the markets at. So entry level, entry level, entry level. Here you have two entries, two possible entries. There's two ways you could take this information. The first way, you're literally going to put in the first one. Like let's just say we're putting in the trade, we're going to put in the first entry. Or you say, you know what? I want to take this trade twice. You can use both entries if you see the entries. Okay. If not, and mind you, these are two entries that are valid with this stop loss and with these exits. Okay. If you take any other entry outside of here, understand that you're taking your own trade. You're not taking the platform's trade, you're taking your own trade. Whatever they put out is like really focused on the details that they send you. And if you take something outside of that, you can't really go with the parameters of the trade. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, when we first see it, asset, entry, type of trade. Oh, he didn't put it. It's okay. Charlie's human. Bullish. We know it's a buy. All right. And just to be safe with our entries, we're going to do pending to make sure we get in what we're supposed to. All right. So if we check here, we see invalidation. Invalidation means stop loss. I'm going to write it in the chat. Invalidation means stop loss. So when you're putting in this information, understand that the red is your stop loss. It's called invalidation because literally your trade is no longer valid at that point. So this would be your stop loss. All right. Then your targets. So as we mentioned here, for all trades, we have three targets. Sometimes you have two, sometimes you have three. Okay. The first one is usually a one-to-one. So if you're risking $100 on this trade, you are going to make $100 if this trade hits exit one. If it hits exit two, 9 times out of 10, it's a 1-to-3. So you are going to make 3 times what you risked on this trade, which is $300. And then usually by the time we get to exit three, listen, we're already at like a 1 to 8, 1 to 10, which is amazing. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're choosing not only, it's not about being right or correct. It's about your style of trading and you have to develop that. If you're like really fresh in taking trades, I would focus on exit one. Focus on getting in and out of the markets. Okay? Focus on okay, exit one is saying that okay, this is a winning trade. Focus on a winning trade. After that, we can focus on okay, I'm good with that. How do I leverage taking advantage of exit two? How do I take advantage of leveraging exit three? Okay? Everything in steps. All right? So let's practice this together. So let's say I'm going to take this trade right here. Okay? I'm going to go on my trading platform. The first thing I want to do is what's the first thing I'm focused on? I got to my chart. What's the first thing I'm doing? Drop it for me in the chat. I just got an alert. I looked at it. Entry price, yes. Entry price is one of the things, but right before entry price, what's something that I need to know? Pair, exactly. So your pair and your entry price are the first two things that you need to know. Okay. So we know that it's gold, and I'm gonna have to go back and forth with this entry price because I can't remember it. So when it comes to changing our currency now, if you're on your phone, you have a tab in the middle called markets. That's where you're gonna change what you're trading. Okay. So we're going to make sure that our top left reflects the asset that we're trading. All right. So XAUSD, we're on the 5 minute time frame because we're executing a trade. We want to make sure we're executing the right information. So we have that set. Next, we're going to start going back and forth to do the copy and paste. Okay. So based off of what we saw, this is what we're going to fill out now. Okay. So let's go back. We see that our entry price, first of all, have our asset. We have the entry price 3482.5 and it's a pending stop, sell stop. Okay. So sell stop, that means sell pending. You see how that opens up a window for my entry price? We're going to put in our entry price manually for pending. Okay. Pending only, you get to do this. So I got to go back. What do we say? 3482.5. So that's going to go in here. 3482.5. Okay. We have our sell, pending, entry price. Lovely. Next, we want our stop loss or our invalidation price and our take profit or our exit price. Okay. So let's go back. Invalidation is 3487.5. We're going to put that in price. 3487.5. Next, we want our exit one. Why? Because exit one qualifies it as a winning trade. So we're going to go get exit one, 3477.5. We're going to go here, 3477.5. Okay. So the thing that I love about TradeLocker is that you can see in dollars what you're risking and what you're getting. So as I mentioned, exit one is usually a 1-to-1. So if you risk one, you're making one. Okay. So from what we see with this trade, we're literally risking $25 to make $25. So once again, yes, we have exit two. Yes, we have exit three. Let's say you're more like me. You're like, you know what? I want to take advantage of exit two. No problem. Instead of taking exit one price, you're going to take exit two price. So that's 3467.5, which is going to go in here. 3467.5. So what do you notice here? Well, my P&L, my profit and loss, what do you notice here? It went up $50, exactly. So what does that tell me? For the exact same risk, I can make more. Obviously with a further distance, if you could see it here on the side. But you want to make sure that number one, when you first start taking copy and paste alerts, you focus on exit one. You want to focus on literally putting in the information and getting in and out of the markets. Once you understand that concept, then you can start being picky. Like, you know what? I want to do exit two. I'll put in exit two. And then you're looking at something like this. You're risking $25 to make $75. Okay? So this is like literally a 1-to-3. Okay? So that's how you would put in a pending trade, okay? Let's say, for example, this exact same information was given to us, but it was a market trade. So instead of saying sell stop or sell limit, it said sell market. The difference here is that I would have to click market. So my manual entry price disappears. I no longer have the option to choose my entry price. What I need to do now, because my stop loss price is entered, my exit price is entered, I need to wait until the actual price of the asset comes down to the price. So what was the price again? It was like 3482.5. Okay. So let's say, let's get rid of this. Actually, we're gonna leave it. So I need to get in around here, okay, where my cursor is. Do you see how far the market is? The current market is at 35.39. So if I wanted to take this as a market trade, guess what? I would have to wait until the market comes down from 35.39, taps 3482.5 to then confirm my trade and get into this trade. Okay? You have to make sure you respect the parameters and how the trade is given. Okay? Usually it's never going to be that long of a distance. It's usually sometimes it'll be about like here or something. They're like, okay, sell market at, 34.87. That way you can actually like, okay, it's coming down, it's coming down. Once you hit that price, you're like, okay, cool, confirm. Okay? If ever you see something like this little exclamation point with a red circle, it means something's not right. Okay. So I'm going to tell you exactly what's not right with this trade. My stop loss, which is my protection, is here. My take profit is down here. Because it's a market trade, my entry price is going to be all the way up here. I can't have my stop loss in profit because my stop loss is supposed to be my protection. This is my risk, right? So even if you look here, this doesn't make sense. My profit and loss doesn't make sense. So understand to troubleshoot, you can look at your profit and loss, or you can simply look at your graph, look at your chart, and see that it doesn't make sense. I can't put my stop loss $254 in profit if my entry price is all the way up here. I'm not in profit yet, right? So this trade makes absolutely no sense. Now, if I was to drag this stop loss above my entry, all of a sudden I'm good. You know why? When you're entering a trade, your stop loss is your protection. It's your protection. So you need to be at a loss to start out with your stop loss. It's what you're willing to risk, what you're willing to lose. Okay. So if we see that here, now I'm risking $60 to make 352. Lovely, but that's not the parameters of the trade. Okay. So you want to make sure if you're buying, your stop loss is below entry. If you're selling, your stop loss needs to be above your entry. Okay. I'll write it in the chat. Buy equals stop loss below entry. Sell equals stop loss above entry. So as you get used and accustomed to taking trades, you're gonna be like, okay, cool. Like, how can I make more money off of these ideas? How can I make more money off of these trades? That's where it gets more lucrative when it's like, okay, I want to leverage exit three. I want to take multiple entries. I want to trail stop. I want to do this and that. All of that stuff comes with time, but you need to start off with just understanding how to copy and paste the information and get in and out of the markets. Okay. Another example. Let's say I put in that pending trade, I confirm it and everything, and it's sitting in my pending trades. All of a sudden, I get an alert from ZiNRAi that says, "Hey, the price took off. We weren't able to catch the price. The trade took off without us. Exit, like close the trade out." What that means is that let's say we're gonna do it. Let's say this is the trade. I'm ready to go. I put in all the information. Bang. I'm ready. I'm waiting for the market to hit. I'm ready to make some money. But then you see, okay, guys, it took off without us. You want to make sure that you exit out that trade. You close it, you terminate the trade. In any case that let's say the market comes back down to a different entry price, to a different kind of time in the market, understand that the parameters that you set your pending trade are no longer valid. So what that means is that my entry is literally right here. Okay. And this is a terrible example. This is how social media traders trade with this big stop loss and this small take profit. So don't do this. Okay. This is just an example. Don't do this in real life, please. So literally what you see here is my entry is here. My take profit is here. Okay. Let's say the market just keeps going. Mind you, you were already told to exit the trade. You keep this trade going, you forget about the pending trade. Two things might happen. You might come to entry and this might hit your take profit, or it might hit your entry, activate your trade, and go straight for your stop loss. Why? Because the parameters that were set for the trade when it was sent out are no longer valid. So if one of the educators says, heads up, guys, that XAU trade left us, you want to go back in, look at the trade because it hasn't been active yet. My profit and loss is not moving. You have a pen and you have an X with a square around it. You want to make sure you click the square with the X. Are you sure you want to close this position? Confirm. Gone. I have zero positions in my pending right now. Drop some sevens in the chat if that's clear. Do you guys have any questions about anything that we went over tonight? Perfect. I see the sevens. So right now we have two options. We can either do another example and then go through Discord together, or we could just go through Discord. It's up to you guys. Drop some twos if you want me to do another example with you guys on the trading side of things, and then we'll do Discord afterwards. Drop a one if you only want to do Discord, and then that's everything for the call. I see twos. Perfect. So let's look at another example. Let's take the bullish one. Okay. So here we see Euro USD. So remember what we talked about. When we first start looking at a trade, we look at the asset, Euro USD, our entry price or entry prices if we have multiple, and what kind of trade. So as we said, this can happen sometimes. There's literally no notes. So, Charlie might have been like, oh my God, let me send this out quick, 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 and just forgot. That's fine. Up here, it says bullish. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how to put in a trade like this. I appreciate you, Jason. Shout out to Jason. Jason literally just got started and he's already like on every call doing everything. Like, I appreciate you. And honestly, guys, this is what kind of creates the success that you're looking for. Like, there's a few of you guys, I've had conversations with you on the side, and it's like I understand how bad you guys want this and how hungry you guys are. And just being on the calls like this, asking questions, that's how you're going to get the success that you're looking for. So I'm really happy to see you guys on the call, asking questions, being interactive. That's going to make all the difference. Okay. So let's say we get this one and it's like there's no notes, okay? As we said, asset, entry, and we know that we're gonna do a buy, okay? Because we see bullish up here. So we're gonna go on our platform. First thing we're gonna do is change our asset. So we want Euro USD. Am I in favorites? No, I'm not. Okay, perfect. Euro USD. And you want to double check in the top left that your currency is changed. The last thing you want to happen to you is to execute a trade with the right information on the wrong pair. Okay? You want to make sure that's the top first thing that you do. So Euro USD, we have that set in. We have our time frame at the 5 minutes, so we're good to go. Next, we're ready to put in the parameters of our trade. Okay? So let's go back. Remember, we said it depends on where the price is. So let's say we look at the price 1.16990, 1.16954. Okay. If we go back here, the active asset, so right over here, is 16312. That's the active price of this asset right now. So if we go and compare 16315 to the price, it's kind of far, right? It wouldn't be an immediate trade. It's really far. So we're going to take a pending. We're going to take a pending trade to respect the entry price. But not only that, the market is not at the price we want to take it at. So for us, even though Charlie was trying to get us paid and didn't really have the time to put in the notes or overlook the notes, we still understand where the market is and what the price that we want don't match. So what does that tell us? Pending. That tells us instantly pending trade. Okay. So it's a buy. So that's going to be a pending buy. So we have our asset here. We're good. Time frame, we're good. Open up here. We're doing a buy and a pending buy. Okay. We're going to go back. Our entry price, let's say we're going to take this trade twice. Let's just say. Okay. So we have 16990 we're gonna go with this entry price first, entry one. So 169, I think that's what I saw. Nope, I did 29s. Perfect. Our stop loss in validation area is 16869. So here, 16869. Our exit area, we're gonna go with exit one for the first trade. Okay. So our exit one is 17025. 17025. Okay. So here we're doing a buy. We're literally doing a pending trade because, as we said, the market is not where we want. Look at the price. This is my entry price that they gave us. This is where the market is. That's far. That's really, really far. Okay. So we want to make sure we respect those parameters. All right. So this is what we have for our first trade. We're going to look at our exit, make sure the price, our exit on this side, sorry, make sure the price matches. Stop loss is your invalidation area. Make sure that price matches. You have the right type of trade. You have the right entry price. You look at your profit and loss. It makes sense to you. Perfect. The last thing that you want to do is look at either your risk or your lot size. Risk is very important. So you want to make sure that you're okay with the trade. So now looking at the profit and loss, I'm risking $1.21 to make 35 cents. Are you guys okay with this? Drop some ones if you're okay with it. Drop some twos if you're not okay with it. And if you're not okay with it, tell me why. Too much risk. Got you. Exactly that. I'm risking $1.21 to make 35 cents. It doesn't mean that it's a bad trade. It just means that for exit one, it's not really what I'm looking for. Per my trading plan, per the rules of me trading, this is not something I'm looking for. Okay. So what I'm going to do is double back and we're going to look at exit two, 17090. Does this make more sense to you guys? I'm risking $1.21 to make a dollar. Perfect. So just because it's sent out, if you're not comfortable with the trade, it does mean you don't need to take it. If you were to take this trade, even though you don't like the profit and loss, when you go and fill out your trading journal, when it says feelings or your emotions, you weren't confident in the trade. You weren't. You just took it because everybody else is taking it. So you know what that means? FOMO. You get what I'm saying? So it's very important for you to understand risk to reward. You need to know what you're potentially risking for what you're going to potentially get. Like what do I stand to lose? What do I stand to gain here? So if we go back now, we've decided that this is not necessarily the trade that we want to take. We're going to skip out on this one. That's okay. That's okay. But just to understand how to take the trade, we're going to take it anyways. All right. So let's say devil's advocate, this makes sense. Okay. We're going to take this trade. We're ready. Everything is good. We put in this. We checked our lot size. We checked the risk. It makes sense. Okay. Let's just say we take the trade. But you know what? I want to take this trade two times. I don't only want to take it once, I want to take it twice. So, leveraging two entry points, understand that this invalidation area, this stop loss, as well as these exit prices, goes for both entries. So, watch the difference now. We're going to go back, same pair, same setup. So, our entry price is 6954. Our stop loss is the same. Our exit, we went through these two exits. We're going to keep the same one just to see that second one, just to see where we're at. Now, same trade, but the second entry price. We're only at exit two. Does this trade make sense to you guys? Perfect. We're risking 85 cents to make $1.36. So you see, just in changing your entry price, and it's not even like you made it up. It was given, right? This are the two options that we were given. So if let's say you got your first one, you're like, I'm not really feeling that one, and then you go for the second one and it's literally right up your alley, guess what? You found what you want to do. So now, let's say we didn't even take this. Let's say it's like, you know what? I'm picky. I don't really like that. You put in the second entry, you're like, yo, I really like this one. Guess what? You can literally do this trade, execute it, and then double back. Like we said, same entry, same stop loss, change this to exit three, 7165. So now we have two trades running. One we stand to make double, the other we stand to make three, four times what we're risking. So the reason why there could be two entry prices, there's multiple kind of reasons. The first reason is that the zone, because usually people have a zone of where their entry price is going to be for their setup. There's two possible entries. So on a trade, you're not going to see it on every single trade, but on some trades, people do give you two options. But do you see the difference? One entry, we were okay with the distance of how much we were going to risk compared to how much we were going to make. And on the other one, we were not okay with it. So it also has to do with preference as well. The first one we tried out, everybody was like, nope, not taking that. But the second one, everyone's like, yep, that makes absolute sense. I'm ready to take it. So you see the difference? Some people are different. Like some people will like still take it because like I said, like for me personally, any trade that they send through the platform, I take it. But I want to make sure I'm doing the right things on my part. I'm looking at the trade. Am I okay with this? Do I like the entry prices? Some people, especially when I first started actually understanding like analysis and stuff, I understood that when it comes to entry prices and stop losses, it comes in zones. Sometimes it's not a specific price yet. When they do their analysis, it's like, okay, my entry zone is somewhere in this area. This is what I like. I'm going to pick an entry in there. And for them, based off of the analysis, based off of the chart, based off of the candle behavior, they could say, you know what? I trust this entry price and this entry price. That's how you end up with two entry prices. So it's two entry prices where your stop loss or invalidation area is still respected. You're not risking too much. You still stand to gain a good amount compared to what you're risking. And not only that, you have two areas where your exits make sense and your stop loss makes sense. That's why you would have two entry prices. So as we see here, it's not every trade that generates you two entries. Like here we only had one, here we only had one. But it's because of what he saw. But that's another thing. So if you're ever wondering like why someone did something, pull up the chart. Just pull straight up, pull up the chart and be like, okay, like what am I looking at? And if you get confused or you don't really necessarily understand, I'm gonna give you a little trick. So analysis aside, you don't have to be an expert, okay? I'm gonna show you something. Sometimes you're gonna see something like this, and other times you're gonna see something like this. Okay? This is a sell. Okay? This is your entry price. This is your stop loss. This is probably your exit two at this point, and halfway through there would be your exit one. Okay? This is a sell. So my stop loss is above my entry price, so I know that this is a sell. And looking at the green area compared to the red area, you can obviously calculate it, but just by eye, by looking at it, I can see that the red can probably be divided in there about two, three times. So by the time I get here, I'm probably at exit three by the time I get right here. Okay. So if you look on the side, especially during live sessions with Dre, if you look on the side here, look, I see my stop loss right here in red. I see my entry in gray right here. I see my last take profit right here in green. So you don't necessarily need to hear Dre say, oh my God, I'm going in for this and going in for that. You could just pay attention to the side. I'm going to move this. You guys could really see it. Look, so the top of my stop loss area, this is my price, is 16721. My entry price is in gray here, 16582. Literally right here, it would be about my exit two, exit three, 16247. It's not coincidental. They all line up. Look, you have your trade right there. So when it's like, oh my God, Dre, can you say this? Can you say? You don't need him to say anything. He's gonna do it, but you don't need him to say anything. Everything is right here. Stop loss, entry, exit, right there. Okay? That's as easy as it gets. When it comes to, let's say, a buy, smooth that out. When it comes to a buy, our stop loss below our entry. Look at our exit, same setup. We're gonna get a little bit of, let me put it higher so you guys can see it without, okay. So look at it again. So the active price of the market is in pink. So we know that this is the active price of Euro USD. So we have our stop loss price in red, 16392, entry price 16531, and our last exit 16835. So you can apply that here as well. To understand, do you see this? I can't click on it because it won't let me zoom out of it so you guys can look at the whole thing. But look, that's a buy. You have your stop loss and your exits all here. That's a buy. Your stop loss is below your entry. Your exits are above entry. That's a buy. And you may not always have the same colors. That's okay. It's the same concept. Look here. It's my stop loss price clearly indicated. My entry clearly indicated. Exit one clearly indicated. And if I keep going down, I'm sure I'm going to get all the information I need. Okay, so when you get on those live trading sessions, you're like, okay, guys, we're looking for this and looking for that. Don't get overwhelmed. You're just gonna go, you see them trading, let's say NAS 100. We're gonna go click our asset, look for NAS 100, click on it, 5 minute time frame, ready to take trades. We're gonna make sure we open up our parameters and just wait. If you see someone post, Dre or any educator post this, you could already say in your head, okay, you know what? That's a sell. I know he's looking for a sell. I can already start doing, okay, sell market. I know I'm gonna have a stop loss. I don't know if I want to take profit or not, but I know I need to have a stop loss for every trade I take. I'm gonna just wait. Now you're just waiting. You already have the setup. You already have all your information right here. There's no need to panic, rush, nothing. When you're on live sessions, it's literally just waiting for the market to come to you. Those are the sessions where you actually just sit on your hands and wait until something comes to you. You don't have to be flustered. You don't need to be overwhelmed at all. You literally just get on the call, you see the asset that we're trading, you look it up, you already kind of figure out your lot size, what you want to trade for that day, what your risk is, what you're willing to risk that day. If you lose two trades, you're done. If you hit your target, you're done. Simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You get on that session, open up your trading platform, and you just sit on Zoom or the live session, and you just literally wait. You just wait for that price to come to you. That's all. You already have everything. So imagine I put this up right here. I put this up and I'm like, okay, guys, this is where the market is, but I'm waiting for the market to come to us. What does that mean? What price do I need the market, the active market, to touch for me to get into this trade, for everyone to get into the trade? Drop it for me in the chat. And then we're going to go on Discord for about 2 minutes. What price do I need the active market to touch for me to say, okay, guys, we're going in for this sell? And if you don't know, that's okay. I'm still going to give you the answer, but I want you guys to think about it and look at the chart. Yes, Linnea, exactly that. So she didn't need me to point to it. I'm sure a few of you guys are in the same situation, but I'm gonna use her because she answered. Literally, if I'm like, okay, guys, we're gonna wait, da da da. Even if, like, let's say my internet kicks out or, like something happens to my computer, whatever the case is, you know what the setup is. Exactly. So this, it's usually going to be like gray. More times it's gray. So this little fine line here, that's always going to be the entry whenever you see this type of setup. So the red or gray, however it looks, you always want to look at the smaller portion. The smaller portion is always going to be your risk area. Okay. So the smaller side is my risk, which means the top of that right here would be my stop loss. So to execute this trade right here, let's say I saw this trade, I was going to execute it. Just to be a little bit more specific, let's say, yeah, let's say about that. I'm going to be a touch more specific. Okay. So let's say I did something like this. Okay. I'm like, we're on a live session. I show you guys that. How this would present itself is this. Stop loss would be 23, 262.51. My entry would be 23,189.92. Exit one, oops, 23,122.15. And then exit two, 23,060. That would be the parameters of this trade. And then, of course, NAS 100, sell. Whenever you're on a live session, you never do pending trades. They're always market, always. The main difference is that pending, you can choose your entry price, which is like, oh, we're on a live session. Why don't we just do pending? You never want to do that because you don't know what the market's going to give you. The market could tap your entry price and go straight to stop loss. You want to make sure that the activity of the market makes sense and the person calling the trades is also confident to say, okay, guys, yes, we're going to go in for that position we have up. But just based off of this being up and me not hearing anything, Drake could be on mute. If I see this up, everything that you guys see in the chat is what I took away from what's on the screen. I got an entry, I got three exits, and I got a stop loss, and I got a sell. I know the asset, the kind of trade, and the parameters of my trade as well. I have everything. So now I'm just waiting. I'm literally just chilling, and I'm literally waiting for this price to come all the way down here. And as soon as it makes sense, he's gonna say, or the person doing the live session gonna say, okay, guys, we're getting ready for a sell. I'm gonna get in because I like this area, or I like this setup. I like this trade. And we're gonna take it. And of course, Dre is gonna be clear, but some of the live sessions, because of legal reasons, they can't legally tell you to get in or not. They're just gonna show it to you. You have to learn to kind of read between the lines, and this is a great way to read between the lines or do something before like it's kind of like said or insinuated or whatever. Cool? Does that make sense? Drop some twos in the chat if that makes sense. We're gonna do everything for tonight. I really hope you guys got to learn from me. I hope this call helped you further yourself in your journey and your experience to make you understand what you need to have access to, what you need to set up. And if you guys ever have any questions, don't be shy to drop them in the chat. One of us will answer you. Okay? I hope you have a really, really great night, a great week. And I hope I see you guys on the live session tomorrow in the morning. And let's make money. Bye, guys.